Hey guys, SuperHorrorBro Mike here, and in today's video, we take a look at modern indie horror game classic, Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion, as we explore the history behind the game and explain its strange and mysterious story and the fate of central antagonist, Spooky the Ghost.
Hello, I am Spooky, and this is my home.
For those who don't know, Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion is a horror game developed by Lag Studios and first launched on Steam in July 2015 under the title Spooky's House of Jumpscares. It tasked the player, who takes on the role of a historian visiting the old house, with navigating 1,000 rooms. Many of these rooms are randomly generated and filled with harmless jump scares, while others contain monsters or specimens as they are referred to, each with a different attack and method of escape. Along the way we pick up a series of ever creepy notes left by a previous explorer, and with each of these notes the writer's sanity becomes lower and their actions more unhinged. Check out this sample. "I think this is my last note. I'm going to die having never found my escape." But really that's not true. This place was like my escape from everything else. In the end, my death is kinda romantic. Eventually we discover that the author didn't make it out alive. We journey on, but what will we discover at the centre of this house, and what does the seemingly cute and innocent ghost Spooky have planned for us?
Well, here you are, alive and still here. You just keep on going, don't you?
Watch on to find out. The game launched to wide success, and in late 2015, a DLC called Karamari Hospital made its debut. This scary expansion gave additional story details and introduced players to a host of terrifying new monsters to evade. In early 2016, Spooky's House of Jumpscares was threatened with legal action from a mobile developer who had trademarked a similar title for their company, Spooky House. This required Lag Studios to alter their game name to the one we all know now, Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion. In the spirit of the game, the developers made a joke out of the name change, and as you can see, tape was crudely stuck over the old design. Finally, in late 2016, Spooky received a fresh coat of paint when a remastered version launched, Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion HD Renovation. This is the version displayed here in this video, and unlike the original, is not free to play. So that's a brief history of the game and its development, but what about the story itself? What is this house? Who is Spooky, and what is she up to? The easiest way to explain this house is to take a look at this map. As you can see, rooms are ever changing and moving about, and this explains why many sequences in the game feature randomly generated layouts which differ every time we play. The house is almost like a simulation, a man-made science fiction experiment. Once inside its walls, reality as we know it changes, and regular laws of physics no longer apply. It's almost as if this house exists on a separate plane of existence. There even exist outside areas within its walls, as commented here in this note. For a while I thought I had really escaped this place, but despite the trees and flora, I think this is actually just another room. I did however find deer, so I may at least get to eat. They make some strange sounds though. And yes, you guessed it, those deer are monsters too, and not so friendly. More evidence of this house being a test environment comes from the discovery that it is also home to a laboratory. The company GL Labs. This company has collected terrifying demons, monsters and ghouls from all over the world and brought them together here in this very house. However, many seem to have escaped their chambers and now run free, killing off the scientists who once worked here. It seems this house and its inhabitants have taken full control. The developer makes many references to science fiction and pop culture horror throughout the game, and so it seems they were influenced by the SCP Foundation when designing this game world. This house and its subjects certainly echo SCP lore heavily. It's also very similar to the premise of the movie Cabin in the Woods, itself influenced by the SCP Foundation. So that's the house explained, but what about Spooky herself? Who was this mischievous ghost before she set up camp in this lab disguised as a mansion? Well, the game does give us several clues alluding to this girl's previous life. It's easy to tell that Spooky is a young girl simply by her appearance and the tone of her voice. She was apparently 12 years old when she died, and we can see evidence of how this happened if we unlock a secret arcade machine cabinet found near the end of the main game. Using a code given in a nearby room, we can hack into this cabinet and view a chilling flashback sequence. It reveals that Spooky was a young girl who loved scaring people, especially during Halloween season. However, no one found her Grim Reaper costume particularly frightening, and so she decided to up the ante by using firecrackers. Unfortunately, she let off one of these firecrackers beside an unhinged stranger with a gun and was shot dead. Her final message reads, "I just wanted to be taken seriously. I just wanted to scare people. They overreacted, but I don't blame them. At least I finally scared someone." So the girl who was to become Spooky in ghost form was now dead, which should have been the end of her story, and probably would have if it wasn't for her meddling father. Himself a scientist by the sound of a secret note unlocked at the end of a Karamari Hospital DLC chapter. The note reads as follows: "I hate myself for what I am doing, but I can't wait any longer. Your mother puts on a brave face, but I know she wants this too. I'm making fair progress in bringing you back, but it seems to only work for a moment, even with large thresholds. Today I think I found the answer. A second device is needed to bind the spirit to the earth after it has been brought back. I know this sounds macabre, but I will turn it off and let you return to heaven after your mother and I get to see you again." So Spooky's father built a device to bring the spirit of his daughter back from the dead. However, it seems he never managed to turn this resurrection machine back off, and so Spooky continued to exist in ghost form back on Earth. Why did this happen? It's creepy to think about this particular question, because it either means Spooky's father prevented her from returning to the afterlife out of grief, or she killed him so he couldn't send her back because she didn't wish to return there. Either way, a disturbing realization. Finally, what exactly was Spooky's game plan? Why was she guiding us through this mansion? This is a question answered if we unlock the game's good ending. At the end of the game, we discover Spooky is building a ghost army from the spirits of those who proved their worth by making it through her demonic obstacle course. We become one of the chosen elite, enlisted to prove to the world that ghosts are not cute and friendly, but should instead be feared.
No longer will we be disregarded and ignored. For now, we are the most feared army in the world.
After a childhood where she failed to scare anyone with her pranks, Spooky's newfound haunting ability as a ghost allowed her to finally realise her wildest dreams, to wreak havoc on mankind and scare the living daylights out of them. It seems by being reawakened by her father, the dark side of Spooky's personality took over everything else, and she became an egotistical, bloodthirsty killing machine. We see evidence of Spooky's ego in the many self-portraits she has hung up around the mansion. And we can see evidence of her killing tendencies in the various arcade games which focus on Spooky massacring innocents. It is also revealed in certain notes that scientists were attacked by the specimens housed within the mansion, and Spooky watched this happen and even seemed to enjoy it. In fact, it seems likely that Spooky may have been responsible for the outbreak in the first place, as seen in this note from a lab assistant. Subject 5 is growing more and more restless. I told Spook we need more funds for sedatives, but she just laughed and flew off into the ceiling. Without more chemicals to keep these things docile, I'm not sure how much longer we can keep them here safely. Spooky teamed up with these scientists to collect together the most volatile and dangerous specimens from across the globe and beyond, only to unleash them in a house where they could prey on anyone who dare enter, adding toward her army of the dead in a bid for supernatural world domination. In the wake of the game's release, one of the two developers, Kira, went on to develop a new game called Lost in Vivo, which, while a little darker and more mature, has a similar vibe and tone. There has been talk of a final DLC launching to wrap up the story of Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion and shed light on some of the details we still don't fully understand. If and when that DLC launches, I will of course return to add a finale to this video. But for now, I hope you have enjoyed this retrospective of the original game's story and the character of Spooky the Ghost.
So, see you later.
And that's it for today's video. Please remember to give it a like if you did enjoy watching, and maybe drop a comment too, as well as subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications so you never miss an upload. This channel specializes in variety horror content, including creepypasta readings, horror gaming facts and theories, and general interest pop culture horror videos. So if you're interested in all things spooky, you'll find something to enjoy here at SuperHorrorBro. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.